I would like to know how many of you have heard of IFS? Okay, that's quite good. And how many of you here, since I see many young faces here, how many of you come from low and low middle income country? How many of you? Oh, plenty. That's very good. So you better follow me then. Because we open opportunities for you to go higher up. You have seen the example of Martin. We have supported more than 6,000 grantees all over the world. And we know how to identify them, and we know how to push you up, higher up. So follow on me. There will be a call at the end of this year, providing that your topics is eligible, of course. So, yeah. And also, I would like to thank the organizer here to have invited IFS to present the program and to talk about also our views about how to support scientists in developing countries. We are very grateful. Thank you, Patrick. And we believe that we have really high caliber people in developing countries. As far as you just give them the right support, then they will be there. And we can document that. Go on our website and you will see I am not exaggerating. So the beginning of IFS, so that was following a meeting between preeminent scientists at the Pugwash Conference in 1965. We have lots of Nobel Prize people there. And then they said, now we have also to support people in developing countries. We have also to give them support. That's why the president at that time of the Royal Swedish Academy of Engineering Science, Professor Sven Brohult, he founded IFS in 1972. And he was backed up by 16 scientific academies around the world, and also a network of volunteer senior scientists, because it was very difficult to get money to pay for these people. So donors said, oh, you have to manage. But these people are very good-minded, and they are very interested in science and development, so they just join us. And what for then? So, as I said, it was to give international support and for science and development. And also to address work conditions, because they were not conducive in these countries. I know you are still complaining now, we want to have more, but it even was worse at this time. And that's why also these people, they were trained, the majority, they were trained here in rich countries, and then since the conditions were not there, so there was a brain drain. So IFS also was founded to fight against brain drain. So what we are doing, I will just say in 3 clicks. We have a research council, and we give very small research grant for young scientists, and it's renewable. I repeat it, young scientists, you really have to start off your career. And then we are nurturing your capability as scientists, which means that through the research, your own research, you develop your skills as a scientist. We help you as well with the headache. We buy the equipment for you if needed. And also, if you are very bright, we want to promote you, then we give you travel grants and lab visit, mentoring. We have mechanism to facilitate networking. And we focus on young scientists, as I said earlier. You have to be very at the early career, because we think that this is a niche. You are quite neglected, and you deserve support. So that's why we want to focus on this segment. So how do we do to identify you? So it's very competitive, because since funding is very limited, you need really to select the best ones. And for this reason, we have this. And donors, sometimes they complain. It's quite time-consuming, but we do believe it's worth doing that. So when applications are coming, if we receive about 1,500 per session, it comes to us, to Secretariat coordinators. We are pre-screening this to see who has potential. Martin was among these lucky ones. And then we send them for reviews, And this is for senior scientists, specialists in different parts of the world at the universities, research centers. They are independent. And as a coordinator, I will have an eye on this. Because we have also, after that, we send it to the scientific committee. They will review your proposal, but also they will have a look at the external reviews, where the coordinator can have a say, if they think that they are not taking enough account on this one. Should that be addressed or not? Why don't you take that into account, you see? So that's our role. And then after that, out of this, so we know what should be supported. Then we pass this to the director, but it becomes much more of administrative decision. How much fund do we have there? And also, do we have donors who really are interested in some topics only or in some countries? But out of this, you can see, we can have up to 350 grants per session. That's an average. And so our resources, who are there? Of course, we have our donors. We have also our co-founding partners. And we have our board of trustees. Since we deal with developing countries, so we have also people from developing countries there. Actually, our best grantees, they sit there and then they become my bosses. So, and then we have our secretariat in Stockholm. So, and we have only 10 staff members. You can't believe we have supported now 6,500, something like that, and then only 10 staff members right now to deal with the job. And also, the most important is that we have a network of reviewers. When they do it on a regular basis, we call them then advisors. And we have about 1,400, but at ad hoc basis, we can reach up to 19,000 scientists all over the world. I think the last figure is now 20. So we are quite well connected, and we try to convince these people to review. And so, what do we support? IFS has no research agenda as such. We are fostering young scientists, so we want you to come with your own research ideas. And this is very important. But we want it also, we have to convince us that it's very relevant to the socio-economic environment, may it be national, regional, or international. But mostly it's national or regional since we are dealing with development. And though we don't have our agenda, we still expect that you come with your research that impacts on science and also on society. When I say on science, you have to advance our knowledge on what you are trying to address. And if we have calls in collaboration with a partner or agency in developing countries, never IFS will set the agenda. We ask these people to set the topics according to their strategic and regional priorities. So we really respect people's needs out there. And so just to summarize it a bit what we are supporting, so we have 3 research clusters. But main thing is that we focus on biological, water, energy resources, and this including social aspect of your research. And nowadays, more and more, we want to see the sustainability aspect in your proposal. This is very important. So as an example, so we have then the cluster of biological resources in terrestrial systems, let's say forestry, for example, natural products, for example. We have water and aquatic system, and what will gather us here together, that's the cluster I am involved in. That's for food security, dietary diversity, and healthy livelihoods. I'll let you read it that in 1 second, but you can see here that this is what is gathering us here together. And one important thing, since we are focusing on biological resources, of course we have nutrition, but it has to be on the food-based approach. Since we are doing research, we support research on biological resources, not on human. It's very important that you keep that in mind if you want to apply. And so, up to let's say, about to 2000, so the situation at IFS, this is just for Africa, because this is the data that I could get, but this is more or less similar in different parts of the world. So at this time, if you see, up to 1980, you can see now here how many were trained in their home country, as you see here, except for South Africa, and up to 2000, you see. So those doing PhD coming to us, 100 were trained in their country. And here, there is some effort here, and so that is, but though it's going down, I think that's because of some political problem there. So it went down. And this one, some effort in Africa, but still 30% only trained at home. 70% of our grantees were trained in rich countries. So IFS impact. So we are doing good things, actually. So you are not going to say no, Martin. So since we want to help our grantees really to do their work at home, we fight against brain drain, so they really get established through our work. That is because they are recognized and acknowledged. And then they work at home institution. We really wanted to fight against brain drain, and we succeeded. And also, one of the other things also is, although it's seed money, since we are good in putting you in touch with other people, very advanced, very mature, so you attract people, actually. They know that this is very prestigious, so IFS grant. So donors know about it, and they would believe in you. It's been approached, as an IFS grantee, probably also because of the third world nutrition, but I like to believe that it is because of IFS. And then they attract funding or collaborators, you see? And thanks to that, they generate knowledge and they publish. And again, it's very, very important that you have the ambition to publish, to be known. Even if you want to have development, you get more funding. You are approached by people thanks to very good publication. It works. And we are approached by people as well. Who is doing this in what? You see? So it doesn't mean that we don't want to have development, but publication in good journal is very important. We repeat that to our young people and avoid these predatory journals. And I can tell you, we have grantee, maybe not all of them, but they are really world-class caliber. Very impressive because we just gave them 1 or 2 grants, but they are really, really grantee world-class caliber. Many of them are invited after from university to teach here for maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, for 4 or 5 years, because they have been identified. So you can do that as well. If you got an IFS grant, I believe you can go higher up to that. And some of them also could really demonstrate that they have socio-economic application. Right now, we have someone from Madagascar working with a startup in Sweden. They are going to put a medicine on the market now, but it comes from an IFS grantee. We have also people from Ghana. Now we have been invited by FAO and the government just to see how they can improve the food safety guidelines. And so they have been invited recently. So that's very good. One of those from Burkina Faso was telling these people at hospital, I mean, why don't you include Campylobacter when you are really tracing food safety of people? Why just you are talking about E. coli and Salmonella? So that's our young grantees, just with 1 grant. So, but what we are facing now, through the years, I think all of us, we are facing this. Funding is being limited. We have said, do research, development, but then they don't give enough money. So it's very limited. And for this reason, IFS was obliged, so for about 10 years now, to focus on low and lower middle income countries only. And now also, there are more and more doctoral programs in developing countries, especially in Africa, or if they do not do fully their training in developing countries, they do it in a sandwich program. And also, they are facing also some challenges because in addition to their national challenges, they have also global challenges. I think people have talked about this, natural resources depleting, and then also we have climate change and so many others that you can think of. So it's quite challenging for young scientists. And so what we are facing also now, we are very happy to see these PhD programs happening in developing countries. But compared to what we had about 20, 25 years ago, quality is an issue. I can see the difference when it comes to me and our reviewers as well. Is that a real PhD topic? So quality is an issue now. And then, but we are not discouraged at all. We just say that there is need for support to strengthen it. So we have to accompany these people, these countries, where they're really making efforts to do their PhD programs, but don't let them down. Just give the extra support they need. And we focus on the young people then. And so due to that, since they are trained in their own countries, they know that they need to have also, we have also to have critical mass of people who are capable also to discuss global challenge, whereas they also must also discuss national challenge. So that's why they express, and this is not only my ideas, that our grantees, they really need to have an exposure to international context now.
Could you conclude, please?
Oh, okay. So then what could be useful then is mentorship, but then there should be challenges, hosting by advanced laboratories, and they really want to have collaboration at institutional level. And also, topics should be identified by those in need of solution through research. Never will tell them to do that. Oh, I have to go quickly now. So the way forward may be, you said it also, are we going to do science or is science for development? So IFS has two ways. Of course, we look quality science, but also we accept national relevance if that may lead to benefits for local society, especially policymakers and end users. That's very important. We accept that as well. And this, those who are in charge of the free access for literature, there is a program, Research for Life, but many of these young people, they do not have access to that because they are gatekeepers at this institution. And then these young people, they do not know that what they're proposing has already been done. It's not because it's not done in your country that it has not been done by others in your country. And it's very important that okay, so maybe I skip this, because this is really what my grantees want. Equitable, he said that it's really to be in win-win interest for the research collaboration. You have also to understand, if you work with people in the North, they have also to find their interest. Likewise, you expect them also to understand your interest. So this is, we have to share responsibility and accountability. And last and not least, benefits from the results should be defined and attributed beforehand to, example, co-publication, patents, putting into commercial use. And this really, our young people, they are not really well prepared for that. We have some cases. They should have benefited from that. So I think that's to it. And then we have also to work in partnership. So as you see in the Sustainable Goal Developments, the number 17 really foster that we should work in partnership. And IFS is really welcoming everyone here who wants really to be a part of our program. We really welcome that, and we can achieve better results with you. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm.